The first clap of thunder shook the windows just as someone pounded on my front door with desperate urgency. I hadn't spoken to my neighbor in nearly 8 months, and I had convinced myself that silence was easier than forgiveness. But when I opened that door on the darkest stormy night our little neighborhood in Asheville, North Carolina, had seen in years, I realized that some moments are too important for pride, and some people deserve a second chance before it's too late. If you believe kindness can heal broken hearts, that forgiveness is stronger than resentment, and that hope can appear when we least expect it, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone you care about, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more heartfelt stories that remind us of the best parts of being human. My name is Nathan, and for 3 years I lived peacefully in a quiet apartment building where everyone waved to one another. Across the hall lived Rebecca, a cheerful elementary school music teacher whose smile could brighten even the dullest Monday morning. She baked cookies for new neighbors, watered plants for people on vacation, and somehow remembered every birthday in the building. We became close friends without even trying. Evening conversations in the hallway turned into weekend coffee trips, and before long she felt like the sister I never had. Everything changed after one terrible misunderstanding. Last winter, an expensive package disappeared from outside Rebecca's apartment. Security cameras had failed during a power outage, and several neighbors whispered that they had seen me near her door shortly before it vanished. The truth was painfully ordinary. I had simply walked past on my way home from work. But fear and frustration clouded Rebecca's judgment. She never directly accused me, yet the warmth in her eyes disappeared. Conversations became awkward nods. Eventually, even those stopped. Weeks later, the missing package was found in another building after it had been delivered to the wrong address, and everyone learned I had done nothing wrong. Rebecca apologized with sincere regret, but the hurt had settled deep inside me. I accepted her apology politely, yet I could not bring myself to trust her again. Sometimes wounds close on the surface while remaining open underneath. The months passed with quiet distance. I buried myself in work as an architect, pretending I no longer noticed the empty hallway between our doors. Occasionally I heard Rebecca laughing with other neighbors, and although I wished her well, something inside me refused to let go of the disappointment. Pride disguised itself as self-respect, and I convinced myself I was protecting my heart. Then came that unforgettable September storm. The rain fell sideways, tree branches scraped against windows, and the power flickered throughout the neighborhood. Around 9 o'clock, someone knocked urgently. When I opened the door, Rebecca stood there soaked from head to toe, trembling from the cold, clutching a small backpack against her chest. Behind her, water poured through the ceiling of her apartment after a large branch had crashed onto the roof. Emergency crews had been delayed because flooded streets blocked access to several neighborhoods. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The silence carried 8 months of regret, disappointment, and unspoken forgiveness waiting to happen. Then I stepped aside and invited her in. As she dried off with fresh towels and wrapped herself in one of my spare blankets, I noticed she looked different. The cheerful confidence I once knew had been replaced by exhaustion. Over hot soup and candles glowing across the kitchen table, she quietly shared what life had become. Her mother had recently been diagnosed with a serious illness in another state. Medical bills had emptied her savings, and she had been working 2 jobs while trying to stay strong for everyone else. She admitted that the package incident haunted her every day because she had allowed fear to outweigh years of friendship. Listening to her, I realized I had spent months protecting myself from someone who had already been punishing herself far more than I ever could. My silence had become another burden she carried through an already difficult season. The storm continued through the night, but something inside both of us finally began to calm. We talked until sunrise about family, mistakes, faith, and the strange ways life humbles us. By morning, emergency workers repaired the damaged building enough for residents to return safely. Before Rebecca left my apartment, she hugged me with tears in her eyes, and for the first time in months, the hallway no longer felt empty. Over the following weeks, we rebuilt our friendship slowly. I helped organize a neighborhood fundraiser to support her mother's treatment, and Rebecca returned to doing what she loved most, bringing music and encouragement to children who needed hope. Watching our neighbors come together reminded me that communities aren't built by perfect people. They're built by imperfect people willing to forgive. Sometimes the hardest door to open isn't the one on your house. It's the one guarding your heart. If I had refused to answer that knock, I would have lost a lifelong friend because of temporary pain. Instead, one stormy night taught me that grace often arrives disguised as an unexpected interruption. If this story touched your heart or reminded you of someone you need to forgive, please support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who could use a little hope today, and subscribing for more stories that celebrate compassion and second chances. Before this story ends, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment and tell us about a moment when forgiveness changed your life or restored an important relationship. As I watched Rebecca smiling across the hallway once again, I understood something I will never forget. Storms don't always come to destroy our lives. Sometimes they arrive to wash away the walls we built around our hearts, leaving behind room for healing, friendship, faith, and the beautiful possibility of beginning again.